How to make your ex reach out first. And of course, the word make is only there because that's what people are using to try to find information on this topic. So before anyone freaks out in the comments, I'm not saying you can make your ex reach out first, but I am saying that you can really set the situation up to where it's likely that your ex will reach out. Number one is something that I've talked about in coaching sessions for a while, and it's fancy terminology, even though I typically don't use that. But it's called the Zeigarnik effect. And basically, it's where you leave unfinished business or you leave them wanting more. And that creates sort of a bit of a preoccupation in their mind because there's this unsolved problem. And I usually tell people this whenever you meet up with your ex. So let's say that they do reach out first. Not only will this help them reach out first, but this is something you want to continue doing. So let's get into that first. When you have that meetup, maybe it's suggested by them, maybe you two just have a great conversation and you suggest it, but the two of you are having coffee or something casual and you're focusing, like I say in a lot of my videos, focus on a positive experience with them, but wrap everything up quickly. So 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but have the discipline to end it there. Say, it's been great seeing you. I've got to get going. I've got some things to do. Walk them to their car and we can get into what to do then maybe on a coaching session. But a lot of times I'll tell people, especially guys, but women too, this works. Go in for the kiss. Just go for the kiss. 2 or 3 seconds. Say, I'll see you soon. Walk away. Yep, it is bold, but that's what I'm encouraging you to do because it can work really well, especially when you apply it to this. And that is that you're going to leave unfinished business in their mind because they're going to leave wanting more because it didn't last that long. And if you're focusing on it being a good experience for them, you're being playful, you're being fun, you're having a good conversation, they're having a good time. When you feel that high point, that's when you need to leave because you want them to actually have the thought, I wish that had lasted longer. You want to leave them wanting more. It's so important. It can create that preoccupation in their mind and like it's just an itch they have to scratch by calling or texting you. And I'm just going to tell you right now, it's tough to do. It sounds like it's simple, but people tell me on the second or third coaching session, they'll say, yeah, so I know I kept hearing your voice in my head that I should call this quits as far as the coffee date or whatever that I've got to go because it's been 45 minutes or an hour, but it felt so good and I thought I was accomplishing so much that all of a sudden 2 hours, 3 hours had passed. The problem is there will inevitably become this moment where there's a lull, where it gets a little boring, where they start thinking, oh, I have things to do, or I'm kind of ready to go about my day, or who knows what else, but it just happens. It's part of being human. And you want to make sure that doesn't happen. So when it's feeling good and you don't want to leave, that's exactly when you need to say, it's been great seeing you, but I have to get going. Leave them wanting more. And so that's how you, after you meet up, that's how you get them to be the one to contact you first after that meetup. It also works if they haven't contacted you yet with the breakup. And that's where mystery comes in. And so basically, if you're posting on social media, if you know that they can see certain things, leave loose ends. So you don't finish the story. You don't give the information. You leave them with questions and mystery. And it's really that simple. Just try to do that with everything. You talk about some place that you went and you give very few details. All they know is you went somewhere, it was a great time, but leave off details. And these don't have to be huge details. Just leave off as many as you can. And you can apply this to lots of things, but you want to just, in whatever you say, where they can see it, try to leave off the ending. Let them have guesswork and not know. And you may think, well, that's not enough to get them to come back to me, is it? Well, it's enough. Usually it really helps and is enough to get them to be thinking about you, to be preoccupied with you, and to come back to you in their mind kind of over and over again. And you apply it with a lot of these other things I'm going to talk about. And yes, it can be a very powerful part of getting your ex to reach out to you first. Number 2 on the list of how to get your ex to reach out to you first, choose a focal point in your life, meaning you're going to choose something that you are passionate about. It doesn't have to be career stuff. It can be. It can be fitness. It can be being a homemaker. It can be a hobby. And it can be lots of other things. But pick a passion. Pick a focal point. And you're going to talk about that a lot online, in social media, in conversations with other people, especially mutual friends. You're going to have this passion because you want it to get back to your ex. Because when your focus is not on them and it's on something else, it's actually pretty attractive because a lot of times at the breakup and after the breakup, it seems like your only focus in life is them and the relationship with them and getting that back. So when you're focused elsewhere, first of all, it's attractive, because when someone is 100% focused on us, when we don't want to be with them, it can actually be unattractive. It can lower attraction that has already been something that has fallen, simply because that's what happens when someone breaks up with you. They do it because attraction has fallen. When you're in a great relationship, you can be focused on each other. That can be a great thing. But this is not the time for that. We can talk about that another time. But you need to choose a focal point, and you need to talk about it a lot. You need to put yourself into it and really show that you are passionate about this one thing, and it's not them. Before I get to number 3, get more information on my emergency breakup kit, and you can do that at myexbackoach.com/EBK. The link is in the description below. It's my powerful guide to help you get your ex back, and it's based on 2 decades of experience in relationship coaching. That's the emergency breakup kit at myexbackoach.com/EBK. Thank you for your support. Number 3 is a little bit of hardball. Cut them off. That means cut them off financially. And of course, if you're in a married situation or something similar, there might be problems that don't allow you to do that. And you have to kind of work that out with a lawyer or mediator or whatever. But if there's no strings attached like that, and you're not breaking any laws, cut them off. You don't owe them anything. And it will only look like you're trying to bribe them. Once they have broken up with you, they should not get the privilege of being your girlfriend or being your boyfriend anymore. And they need to feel it. They need to feel that strength from you that says, if you're just going to leave me and not even try to work on this, you don't get the best parts or the stabilizing parts or the supportive parts of the relationship. You don't get any of it. That's what breakups mean. You have to allow them to experience the consequences if you want them back. If you enable them, you most likely won't get them back. And you may say, well, I don't want them to only come back to me for money or because of access to something. Well, no, you don't. But that's not what it's going to be about. It's going to be that you stuck up for yourself, that you weren't taken advantage of by someone who dumped you. That's how it's going to be helpful. But it can also make them see and appreciate the support they did get from you, and that can be helpful as well. So cut them off. You have to kind of play hardball. And a lot of people ask me if that includes GPS tracking and the apps that show them where you are. Yes, cut them off of that. They should not even know that you exist. They should see no signs of life from you except maybe social media or what they hear from mutual friends. But as far as any kind of interaction that includes them, cut it off. Show them your strength and that this is the consequence of breaking up with me. You don't get the privilege of being with me. Number 4, have a baseline of no contact. Stay with me on this. I know most of you have heard of the no contact rule, but you have to be committed to it. You're not going to reach out for anything. You're not looking for excuses like something you should apologize about or that you think you should. Usually, if you wonder if you should apologize about something, you should not, especially if you already have. Now, if it's severe and you haven't yet, then yes, an apology makes sense. But if you've already apologized for it or it's minor, then you shouldn't. Like, for example, a lot of people want to know if they should apologize because they didn't handle the breakup well and they begged and pleaded and all that. I don't normally suggest that because it's just contacting them. It's kind of just causing the same thing, and it can make you look weak, like you don't know what else to do, and so you're hoping the apology will get them back, and it's kind of like you're begging for their mercy and you're making yourself weaker, hoping that that will actually work, and it doesn't. So stop apologizing. And I've even had people say angrily to their ex, stop apologizing. You know, they broke up with them and this person is apologizing for everything, and they'll say, stop it. And I've even heard that the person would say, okay, sorry. And they would apologize for apologizing too much. Don't do that. Just stop. And then the question is, what about their stuff? If I have their stuff here, should I contact them about that? No, you shouldn't. Let them contact you about it if they need it. And if you don't hear from them after a while, just ship it back. No words have to be spoken. You don't have to include a note either. They know what it is. Trust no contact. Take hold of it and be serious about it. If you don't trust it, you're going to be trying to find loopholes. Trust it. As a matter of fact, trust it to the point that not only are you not looking for loopholes, but you're looking to go the other direction and avoid contact with them completely unless they initiate it. Number 5 is difficult, and people might disagree. I probably would have disagreed 15 or 20 years ago, but you learn a lot by seeing thousands and thousands of cases of breakups and relationship struggles, and this is important. Appear painless or pain-free to your ex. That means if you have to see them, or if you're posting on social media and you know they see it, don't talk about your pain. Don't talk about how painful the breakup is for you. If you see them, don't look depressed. Smile. Look happy. If you're around your friends, be happy, because that will get back to your ex. Your ex, if you have mutual friends, might say, how's he doing? How's she doing? You don't want your ex to say, well, you can tell she's really struggling. Or you can tell he hadn't been sleeping well. I know he's really struggling with the breakup. No, you want them to be able to say, he seemed fine. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So did he mention me? No, he was talking about the focal point, the passion in his life. Of course, they won't use that wording. They will say it specifically. But that's what you want to project. And you may say, well, that's not fair. I should be able to show when I'm in pain to someone who I'm in a relationship with. But you're not in a relationship with them. This is a breakup. Breakup dynamics are different than love dynamics and relationship dynamics. And you don't want to show them any pain right now because pain is a burden. Yes, we want to be there for our friends, but have you ever had that friend who's going through something and they just won't stop talking about it? Eventually you kind of say, I need a break from this. And they call and you say, I can't take the call right now. I just don't want to hear it. That's the place that your ex is in, except magnify that by like 10. You don't want to show them pain. It's not their business. Your suffering is not their business. Show them strength. Show them joy. You may have to fake it. It is what it is. You're projecting it. You're not faking it. You're projecting it. Just like if I wake up at 3 a.m. and the house is on fire, I'm not going to say, well, I'm not going to run out of the house or save my family or save a possession or two or a pet before I run out because I'm sleepy and I just want to sleep. I need to be truthful and true to myself, so I'm going to stay in bed and burn up. No. Difficult times call for difficult and strong measures. So this is where you project something. You are doing something that maybe isn't natural, just like dieting. When you are used to eating too much and eating the wrong foods, dieting is difficult. And you don't say, well, I'm going to be true to myself by eating whatever I want. No, you have to be disciplined to do things that don't come natural, to do things that seem like the opposite of what you want to do, because you want something more than you want that momentary satisfaction. And that's how breakups work too. You can book a coaching session with me at myexbackcoach.com. It's the same place you can find the emergency breakup kit, my course for helping you get your ex back. I strongly encourage you to get that at myexbackcoach.com/EBK. The link is in the description below. You can just scroll down, click that link, and get the emergency breakup kit, and it can help you get your ex back. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.